Welcome to another episode of our Full Stack Hono series. Today we'll be looking at starting our Hono server, so building it, understanding how it works, and setting up our local machine for development. So I've broken this into three sort of like key aspects. The first would be just to verify a few prerequisites that is required to run the server on your machine. So Node.js has to be installed. I will show you how to check the version of Node you have, and I will also add a link to the Node.js documentation if you need to install Node on your machine. Second would be like a package management tool or like a package manager. That would be like an npm and a yarn, that sort of thing. We need an IDE, so a place for you to write your code. The second part of it, after we move on from the verify the prerequisites, would be initializing the project, so creating the folder structure and just configuring our sort of like packages to run Hono. And then lastly, we will just be setting up that initialized folder to have Hono installed, Hono set up, and just add some TypeScript dependencies. So we're going to be sort of working alongside this flow. And yeah, I'm looking forward to diving in with you guys. And yeah, let's get cracking. Cool. So let's get right into the code. The first command I'm going to type in is npx create Hono latest. And I'm just basically installing it. It's asking me if I want to install this package. I'm going to say yes. It may take a while to complete the installation. So depending on how this quickly finishes, I may pause the video just so that we can have everything completed. Or I just may wait and see. So I just want to give it some time. But yeah, I'll probably pause the video, see how it goes, and then we'll have everything been going in a few seconds. So I've basically installed everything, and the commands that I ran, npx space create Hono latest. Once I ran that, it prompted me with a few sort of steps. It's just the first one was selecting a template, and then afterwards I was able to install my dependencies and everything ran successfully. I'll do just cancel this termination, and then I just VMI, and it essentially installed everything. So this is how it basically looks when you install Hono on your app. You have like a source folder which has index, it's normally index.ts, but there's an index.tsx file which renders tsx. So you can actually render some components. So that's how it looks after you've installed everything. And yeah, so this is the bare bones. This is the basics of getting your Hono server up and running. As you can see, it's quite lightweight. It's quite there's quite a little bit of boilerplate code that they generate, and this should just be able to spin up a hello. So let's make it hello world. Normally that's your first application, and npm run dev. It should run our server. So let's just give this a shot, see how it runs, and then we can update this endpoint and play around with it, create some new sort of features and that sort of thing. So server seems to be running, and then we can test our endpoint. I'll show you this cool thing. Once our server runs 5173, what I'll do is I'll just test that this endpoint is running by doing something like this. Will work, but just give it one tick. It give us hello world. Fingers crossed. Drum roll. Here we go. Okay, so status 200 means success. It So our server is running. Well done, we got it to run, and I'll show you guys in the next video how to actually open this up on your website so you can actually see what's happening, that sort of thing. So let's go. So there's one more thing I actually wanted to do. You see that there was a .tsx file here. Basically replaced it from a .tsx to a .ts file just because I prefer this method, and I'm going to just remove this. I'm going to just use this as a static TypeScript file. So I'm going to say hello world. It's going to be when we ping this endpoint, we're going to get hello world, and then go to the feed config file so, and also just replace .tsx to be .ts. That way, we're just telling it that the entry file or the entry points to our application is the source / index.ts, not tsx. And that way we can write TypeScript without worrying about JSX being rendered. So what I'll do is I will start my server. And once my server runs, I can just call that endpoint and I should get hello world. Okay, my server seems to be running. Let me just give it a second to get my endpoint. Well, I've copied this already, but it's okay. What I'll do is I'll do curl and I'll paste my server, and I should get hello world as my response without the HTML. There we go. Bravo. Sweet. Yeah, so the next video will be extending this a bit further, adding some more endpoints to this application, and we'll be looking at middlewares, how middlewares work, and we are working towards building an actual backend, and we'll be working on some project using Hono. So this is like the beginner sort of setup.